I was literally this close to eliminating what sold videos altogether because I wasn't getting the engagement or the view count that I thought I should for those videos, but I polled you, the audience, and you responded. Those are the videos that you want to see the most, so I'm going to continue to do them on your behalf. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Welcome back to the One Man Show. This is a What Sold on eBay video covering 15 of the items that I sold from the week of May 1st through the 7th, 2022. I love all of the items in this video, and boy am I glad I asked you folks, because those things would have gone poof, but now I have great feedback. Let's get into it. Consistency. Again, another week that looks a lot like all the other ones. May 1st through May 7th, 2260 in gross sales, 1466 in net. My selling costs always hovering around 30%, so we're right where we need to be. My average sales price per item, that's a little bit down at 52.56. I've been in the 55.60 range, but relative to this time period last year, up huge. So 43 total sales, and I've got 15 excellent bolos. Let's take a look at them. This first one is a case where it looked a lot better in the pictures than it did when I picked it up. So I paid $61 for this on an online auction. I was going to price it at $200, but when I got it, the condition wasn't that great, and I figured it was going to take me way too long to clean up a little bit. So rather than price it at $200, I priced it at $150, and I took an offer of $127.49. Vintage Le Creuset, 2.5 quarts, model number C, and the color was rare, Paris blue. So if I had gotten it in better condition, I would price it at $200 again, but I'll take what I got for it, even though the return wasn't that big. This buyer is $158.83 all in, and I'm still happy with the sale. It's vintage, it's Le Creuset, all the boxes checked, easy sale. This is a Lego gold coin, Ninjago Legacy. These are very, very rare. I won this at A Kid Again event that was sponsored for my youngest daughter who has cystic fibrosis. This was held at Legoland at a mall close to where I live. I actually won 2 of them, so we kept one. I won like a bingo game or something we were playing, I don't know. So anyway, we got 2 of them, and my youngest daughter still has one, but I sold this. They're rare, like I said, and it's very consistently selling in the $50 range. So $49.98, this buyer is $58.69 all in. And again, cost me absolutely nothing, and we had a fantastic time. I am extremely thankful for the Kid Again group, who has events and holds events basically for free for kids that have life-threatening diseases. So that was a very special day. So another freebie, actually it's not free because I paid $12 for it when I bought it for my oldest daughter, who is no longer into this franchise. So there's Bendy and the Ink Machine, and then this is Bendy and the Dark Revival, which I think is like a sequel to that first one. But this Boris doll, this dead Boris doll, you can see it with the X's crossed out, the eyes crossed out. This is very rare. So I listed it for $100. I took an offer and accepted an offer of $85. The buyer is $94.32 all in. But if I had to do it over again because of how rare this version of the doll is, Fat Mojo is the brand, and I think it was from 2019, I would be pricing this at $150, maybe even $200, because there simply aren't that many of them, and it's a franchise that's in demand. So maybe they underproduced some of the plush, but again, I would be pricing this at $150 if I were you, and if I found it again in the wild. As it stands, I'm going to take $85, especially since it cost me next to nothing. I bought this, many years ago, and it just was sitting in collecting dust. So this was another awesome sale. This is a Conair tabletop press iron, very basic. I think I paid $9.99 for it. It was in one of my haul videos when I went out to Dayton to pick up some auction wins and go to the bins and whatnot. So FSP5 is the style number. This is a bona fide bolo. Always keep your eye out for it. I took an offer of $70, and even though I think I had it listed at $80, so this buyer is $90.40 all in after shipping and after tax. I've noticed the price on these kind of dwindling a little bit. I still think you could get $80 to $90 for it, but when I was listing it and when I was doing comps when I had sourced it the first time, prices were in that range. So I don't know what the reason for the price drop is when you look at the comparables, but as it stands, $10 into $70, I will take that all day long. So this was another great sale, and this is definitely a bolo. So keep your eye out for this tabletop press. It's actually very, very light. So it might look a little bit larger, but it's not. It's very light and it was very easy to ship. This is a pair of Lebrons. I think I had these for over a year, so they took a little while to sell. And the only reason that they took so long is because I priced these on the higher end. The list to sell ratio for this model, which is AO1755 1st-7th-002 is 1-to-1. For 20 some odd listings, there have been 20 some odd sales in the last 90 days. So low ashes is what this called, the Lebron 15s. I sold these for full price, $69.99. Buyer is $84.09 all in, and they cost me $4.39. Took a little bit longer to sell, but I'll take it. Keep your eye out for vintage Cleveland Indians hats that are made by Logo 7, especially if they have the white top like this. This is the second one that I have sold, not the second one that I've sold, but the second one that I've noticed selling for a high dollar amount. This variation of the hat, for whatever reason, seems to command a high price. But Logo 7 hats made 20 years ago or more for the Indians, great sellers. So this sold for $69.99. Buyer is $80.55 all in. And I only paid about 40 cents because I found this at the Goodwill bins. It was extremely clean. And I just noticed, and you'll see a comp on the screen, that Cleveland Indians hat just recently sold for $250. Chief Wahoo is still smoking hot. So keep your eye out for it. This was a great sale. Logo 7 is the brand. Keep your eye out for those hats as well. All right, nothing special here. Box set of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. There are, I think, 9 or 10 in the box set, and then I had 2 extras that I just threw on top. So all in all, it cost me about $11, and I think the comps are right around the $40 range for this, pre-owned and new, although mine were like in mint condition. So $40 is what I got for this. The buyer is $69.77 all in. At $11, it's not my biggest return, and yes, it can ship media mail, so you might save a little bit of money on that depending on how you charge your customer if you charge them shipping, but I will take this. It was a great book set, and the comparable data, there was enough of it to say, pick this up because the sell-through rate's pretty good, so this was another good sale. If this were a Michigan Wolverines varsity wool jacket, I may have passed it up from Steve & Barry's, but because Michigan State, for me, for whatever reason, sells way faster and just generally better than Wolverine apparel, I'm gonna take this all day long. So this one had a little bit of an issue, had a little bit of a stain on one of the arms, and of course I disclosed that in my description. Always disclose each and every flaw that you have. The buyer that ends up making the purchase is not going to mind that, and so you always want to disclose any and all flaws, whatever it is that you notice when you're listing it. So size XL, great size, Michigan State Spartans from Steve & Barry's. $40 I think was fair. I got full price for it. Buyer is $56.51 all in. Found it at the bins. Let's call it $2 to $3. This is a Craftsman Vise. It is very heavy. Keep that in mind. The model number is 51856, and this sold within a couple of weeks. So I bought it at a garage sale for $20, sold it for $100. This buyer is $142.47 all in. Again, be very careful because it's extremely heavy, but it was brand new open box, and it is a bona fide bolo. The sell-through rate is fantastic. In fact, I think there's only 1 current active listing, and there are like maybe 13 solds in the last 90 days. So it's definitely a bolo. Keep your eye out for it. Just be careful lifting it. It's the potential that I may have undersold these. So they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cyber Samurai set. I don't really remember this. I think I was probably grown by the time these came out. And so there's a set of 4 of them, but if you notice, none of them have their arms or their like weapons. And then one of them has a crack in one of the wings. So with all of the flaws, and I disclosed all of these flaws in my description, I felt like $35 was fair. And again, it still may have been underpriced at that amount because they sold very quickly. It sold within a week or two for full price. So this buyer is $54.24 all in. I got this at a church rummage sale and I paid $5 for it. This is a great bins find, Ultra Escalante, a very highly skipped over brand, if you ask me, that sells really well. In fact, these went overseas. So Escalante, the Racer Boston model is what you are looking at here, the blue with the yellow midsole. Again, another great bolo, got full price for these at $39.99. The buyer is $85.44 all in after shipping and tax and customs fees. And at the bins, it cost me, $2.50. These are actually a very light shoe, and it's an in-demand item. So Ultra is definitely a bolo brand for shoes if you were not aware of that. And this style just happened to be an even hotter style. So keep your eye out for it. About a month ago, I bought a box of, let's say, 18 to 20 beer tap handles, and I paid $17 for the entire box. This was the first of the beer tap handles that sold. It's Blue Moon Belgian White. It was just under 12 inches, and this is an excellent bolo. It sold really quickly too, so I got full price at $40 for this. The buyer is $48.69 all in after shipping and tax. So I've sold probably 12 to 13 to 14 of those beer tap handles, and I've grossed $270 in sales, and I think I still have about 6 left. So that was a fantastic purchase, picking up that box. I didn't even look at it. I just looked at the first few that were on the top because it was all taped up and took it home and sorted through. Obviously pleasantly surprised. This one though, a definite bolo. Keep your eye out for it. Search Marketplace and Craigslist for lots of beer tap handles because they clearly sell really well. So I got lucky with this one. This was a good purchase. Keep your eye out for them. This is a rare Patagonia jacket. It's a super alpine. The color is what makes it rare, that neon yellow, like mixed with the dark gray. I got this for free. I went on a Marketplace pickup to buy a pair of Patagonia ski pants. Paid 20 bucks for it. As I was leaving, getting into the car, the lady stopped me and said, hey, I got a bunch of other stuff. Long story short, I was almost scammed on Marketplace. It was a big ordeal. I took all of my listings down. I've got stuff here if you want to take it. I happily obliged, and this was one of the items, actually the first item that sold in that lot of Patagonia goods. So this was a phenomenal sale. It's from 2013. I got full price for it at $149.99. The buyer is $176.96 all in. You cannot beat free. The comparables on these Ugg sweatpants, they're not that great. In fact, there's very few. Maybe there's a couple and I'll put them on the screen in a second. But this was such a high quality item and I found them in the bins. And so, when you're touching so many items, you come across it. Obviously, Ugg should be one of the more well-made brands. And these were in really nice condition, very well made. They felt great. So I stuck a price tag on them of $40 and I took an offer of $34. So this buyer is $46.76 all in. These were only a couple dollars at the bins. Oralin is the style here, sweatpants. I mean, what else can I say about them? Again, not great comparables, but I had to take a very low risk chance on this because I found them at the bins, couple bucks. I'm totally happy with that sale and this buyer has already left positive feedback. I always say, look up thermostats, especially brand new ones, no matter how generic they look when you're in stores or wherever it is you do your sourcing. This is a right temp one that is in high demand. If you find it pre-owned, you can still get $50 to $60 for it. I just happened to get lucky and find this brand new in the package. I can't remember what I paid. It was in one of my videos. I'm gonna say $8 on this. I couldn't remember if it was $4.99, $6.99, $7.99. It doesn't really matter. I went back and forth with a buyer who kept making very low offers, and then that same buyer just gave up and paid the $140. So I got full price for it at $140. They're $161.40 all in after shipping and after tax, and that was a fantastic return. In fact, all of these sales were excellent, and I hope you enjoyed them. Now I need your help. I'm a little over halfway to 10,000 subscribers, which will be a monumental feat if you ask me. I need you to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. For those of you that are already subbed up, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your viewership, all those things. Couldn't do it without you, but I need more. We need to continue to grow. So hit that like button if you liked what you saw or you learned something today, and then consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you know right away every time I upload a video to YouTube. That's all I have for you. There are more What Sold videos coming. Brendan here, Dad Planet. I'm out, and I'll see you in the next one.